so this is my episode recap of Spider-Man, the season finale, Spider-Man. This one's called Hero or Menace. And no, there's no J. Jonah Jameson apparently. I don't get why. But anyways, so if you remember in the last time, they arrested Dr. Octopus, they put him in jail, and then there's a part where Norman Osborn is going to the jail cell and trying to mock him and being like, "Oh, I have all your equipment now. I tipped up Ross, and now Iron Man captured you." And then later, there's a part where Nico is talking to Pearl, and Lonnie and his gang is going to break in and steal Dr. Octopus's tech, but then the truck almost hit Nico, and Nico was saved by Spider-Man, and I was like, whoa! And it's a very gorgeous spider suit. I just love it. It's like the best spider suit. It's really awesome. I really like how it's detailed. Like, this was great. But Lonnie tried to break into the truck, and there's this gas scene, and I was like, oh no, because I know the source material, because that's what gives him the tombstone powers, and you see his hands almost turning into cement. Now he's becoming more tombstone and got his powers, and then he fights the Scorpion. Scorpion has a mask, and I really like the design of the mask, but then Spider-Man tries to fight him and saves the day, and then the rival games fight each other, and it's like a whole big action scene. But then when Tombstone gets the powers, his skin becomes hard as stone, so there's a part where you think he's gonna get stabbed, but then he gets protected because his skin is rock hard. So he fights Scorpion, and then Spider-Man comes in and he teams up with Lonnie, and then they fight the Scorpion, and it was a really cool action scene how they work together. And then Big Don run away, and he's like, I can't do this, because there's like some PTSD, like Spider-Man saw Scorpion and he couldn't think of the PTSD, and he's like, I gotta fight him. But then Big Don was like, yeah, I'm out of here. Oh boy. But then there's a part where Spider-Man fights Scorpion, and he webs him up and punches him and punches him. But there was like a part where Lonnie was covered in eye beams because of the Scorpion. But then after Spider-Man takes him down, people were watching him. They thought Spider-Man was almost gonna kill him, but then Lonnie came in, and it was like that scene from Spider-Man No Way Home. And then Lonnie was like, no, don't be like him. Because before, his thoughts were like, with great power comes great respect. And it's like, you gotta be strong. Your opponents won't hold back. You can't hold back. But then he almost was this close to killing him. But then Lonnie was like, don't be like him. Don't become just as bad as him. But then he's like, yeah, you're right. Oh man, can you imagine, can you imagine if something, because Norman Osborn said with great power, but he said with great respect. And can you imagine if Lonnie Lincoln was the one that says with great power comes great responsibility? Yeah, think about it. Tombstone, the guy who is Spider-Man's arch nemesis, who's a crime boss and almost kills people, and he would be the one to say with great power comes great responsibility. That would be so crazy, but he doesn't. But they do a cool fist bump, which I like, and they both run off. But yeah, there was a concerning part where Spider-Man looks at Lonnie. He's like, you gotta get out of here. And he's like, Lonnie, how can you join this game? And then, but there's a part where, because I like the part where Spider-Man saves Nico, and Nico's like, Spider-Man, is that you? And he's like, yeah. And then there's a part where Peter or Spider-Man and where they're talking to an Ellie, and then they almost do the scene from like the Raimi Spider-Man movies with the upside down look, but they didn't kiss. In fact, he punches him in the head, and then they talk to each other, and then they made up. They're friends again, which I really love, and she understands like this responsibility, this life you chose. Like, I understand you try to protect me. I'm glad she understands now, because it can be dangerous, so I'm glad. But yeah, that part with Spider-Man, and he looks at himself in the mirror, and all the people freaked out that he was almost going to kill somebody, but he was like, he's going to kill more, and he's like, and Lonnie's the one that says, no, don't be like him. That I really respect. That I like that Spider-Man chose the right path, and I like that Lonnie really helped him. But yeah, after that big epic episode, so in the next episode, I forgot what the next episode was called, but sorry about that. But in the next episode, it was really intense. Like, Norman Osborn takes them all to this laboratory, and then there's a part where they discovered they invented a portal to go through other space and times, and then he referenced all the stuff that happened in the MCU, like the New Mexico, the Avengers. But he's like, I use your talents to create a new portal, and it's like, I don't know if we appreciate you going behind our back, but Amadeus Cho was completely okay about it. But then Dr. Whitman almost opens the portal, but he's like, I haven't done anything yet. But then there's another portal, and it's Doctor Strange. And Doctor Strange's like, you can't open this portal, it's dangerous. And it's like, who are you to talk to me? You're one of those superpowered freaks that try to destroy things. You destroyed the school, but he was I didn't went to any school. What is this, 21 Jump Street? That's kind of I wonder if that's a funny nod to Phil Lord and Chris Miller, because Lord and Miller was the ones that worked on Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and they also did 21 Jump Street. So I wonder if that's a little nod to them. But when he said that, I was like, oh, is they're gonna do time travel? Because when he said, like, I never been to any school, like, I thought to myself, wait, space portal? Are they gonna do time travel? But here's what happens. He opens the portal, and then there's the Venom creature from the first episode, and Doctor Strange tries to fight it. But yeah, I forgot to mention, in the last episode, Norman Osborn was doing something secretive when he was working with the other scientists, because when Spider-Man was hurt, he used Peter's blood to recreate the spider that bit him. And get this, after when the Venom creature comes out and fights Doctor Strange, and it was a really cool action scene, but there's a part where he opens a time portal, like he used the time, like I think the time infinity stone to open a portal in time, and then he goes to the school. So I figured it out, like, so, and the spider that bit Peter, because they made it like it actually went to the past and bit Peter again. So this all comes in full circle. So wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. So, it bit him, give them the spider powers, and they used it to create a spider and then it went back in time and tried to give him the spider powers. So, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Oh my gosh, that's a very that was amazing how, because I was like, wow, that I don't know how to get my words together, like that. I was shocked. Like at first I thought it was from the multiverse, but no, it came from the past. Like this is like time travel. Like that was a very cool. Like that's a very different, unique way. Like wow, I can't believe they did that. I was really surprised. Like, I think that's a really cool addition to Spider-Man. I like that. And the Venom creature. And then you see in space, you see all these Venom creatures fighting and almost coming into the portal, but Spider-Man had to find a way to turn off the portal, but turn it on to send it back, but then try to turn it off, and then there's an explosion, and half of the symbiote came up. So you know what that means. I hope this time it's Eddie Brock. I know they're trying to do something different, like in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon and the Insomniac Spider-Man 2 video game. They try to have it be Harry as Venom. Like maybe Norman Osborn might be Venom, or maybe they might do Harry as Venom in this. But I kind of like it be Eddie Brock. I like Eddie Brock was the OG Venom. Like I kind of wish they kept Eddie Brock as Venom. Like in that Marvel Spider-Man cartoon, Eddie Brock was only Venom once in a few episodes, and then that's it. But it's just Eddie Brock is like the OG Venom. I hope it's Eddie Brock again, and I wonder what they're gonna do with if they show Eddie Brock, because they didn't even show Eddie Brock in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon. So I hope they do show Eddie Brock, because he's an important character in the Spider-Man lore. Also, another thing I want to bring up is that because in the opening from the last episode, they showed Spider-Man finding a bunch of Krugs, but he had a school project, and Nico was trying to help and trying to talk about photosynthesis to give them more time. So then Pearl finally does her diorama, but it almost got destroyed, but their friend actually helped save the day. So I thought that was nice. So they got that resolved. They got an A minus, but hey, an A is an A. But anyways, they got that resolved better, and Pearl was happy about it, and they were happy. But yeah, at the very end, like they tried to resolve what's gonna happen, and even Oscorp, like Oscorp's under fire. Like even at May's, like I don't want to hear anything about Oscorp. And Harry was there, and he was like, "Oh no, that's okay." But then they're like, "You should start your own company, and it's called Web." I think the Marvel Spider-Man cartoon tried to did Web at the very end, so here they're gonna adapt Web. I don't know that much about the web company, like Worldwide something Bureau or something. Like I need to do some research on that. So that's cool. They're gonna do their own company with web, and they invited some of the guys, but Amadeus Cho is working at Oscorp. Oscorp is his home. I wonder what they're gonna do with Amadeus Cho, because in other versions he becomes like a version of the Hulk, but in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, he wore the Iron Spider suit, so I don't know what they're gonna do in this version. There's a lot of reveals they did, like apparently one of the students is a superhero, like she's working with Daredevil, and she's secretly a superhero. I wonder what superhero she was. Like, I know a lot of Marvel superheroes, but I don't know if I know this one. I'll look up later. And there's all sorts of things. Like even Norman Osborn had a flashlight looking in it, and he found the Venom symbiote. So they're gonna build up the Alien legacy. You know, they never get a comic accurate. I've seen a lot of shows and movies and video games and other things, and they do it, but they don't accurately do the whole story. Like in the original comics, he gets it from Secret Wars, but they never really adapt that story. Maybe they might adapt it in the MCU, but we'll have to see and wait till it comes out. But then there's another part with Dr. Octopus in his jail cell, and he did a drawing of his robotic arm, so you know what that's building up to. But there's one part with Aunt May, and it's like, oh, I wonder what Aunt May's doing. And she's going to a jail cell, and she's talking to someone. At first, it's like, is that Ben Parker? Is Ben Parker in jail? And I'm like, why would they put Ben Parker in jail? Like, Ben Parker's not the guy to be in jail. Like, what did he do? But nope. They show up. He's like, how is my son doing? It's Richard Parker. Yeah, Peter's dad. He's in jail. Richard Parker's alive. Like, how did this happen? Like, what he went to jail for? What's that story? Like, I want to know, like Richard Parker and how, like, what's that story? And there's another talk with Doctor Strange and Spider-Man where he was talking to what happened during the school. Like, you were there, you time traveled. If you can go into the past, you can go to the future. What's my future? And it was like, even if I could go to the future, I wouldn't tell you. You should just have to figure out for yourself. So I wonder what's gonna happen. Are they gonna adapt the Infinity Saga with the blip? Like, are they gonna do like is they're gonna do the whole 5 year gap? Oh boy. I wonder what's gonna get blipped and what's not gonna get blipped. Oh, and I don't think Spider-Man's gonna work with Oscorp because of the whole untrustworthy thing. Like, I can't do that. Like, he's like, I can't do that anymore. I wonder, are they gonna really build up Norman being the Green Goblin? Like, you see him how shady and secretive he is. Like, oh, we'll have to wait till season two. But this has been a really great season so far, and you see all the animals in the background, so they might build up Dr. Connors to become the lizard. Another thing I want to bring up is that Lonnie Lincoln threw out his jacket. Like, there's a part where you can see Tombstone's hands being turned into cement, and that they're gonna pull a crime, and they're keeping a secret from his mother about, and he's just telling him that he's doing school. So, oh my gosh. Like, he's fully becoming Tombstone. I can't wait to see what else is going to happen with him later in the next season. And you see Nico talking to her mom using magic, with creepy magic. So, what the? Okay, so my battery ran out, so sorry if the flash turned off. But anyway, so this was a great series. I hope you all enjoyed it, and see you next time. Spider-Man.